feel like diversity is just such an important subject, and at the same time, a raw subject and a very emotional one that some people find difficult to talk about because they don't want to say the wrong thing and offend someone. But then by standing on the sidelines, they kind of appear complicit. So it's an awkward no-win situation. Now, you have a really fascinating background in cross-cultural experiences, Daralyse. And because of that, I'd like to have a very real conversation with you about diversity, and especially the title of your book, Demystifying Diversity. What is it about diversity that, in your opinion, you believe most people are failing to grasp and needs demystifying?
Wow, Hannah, that is such an important question. And I wrote a whole book about it. So let me see if I can kind of try to be concise. But I think how people look at diversity is really behind so much of the fear and the unwillingness to engage in meaningful ways with the topic. And what I mean by that, I'll kind of just give a little bit of a concrete example. So you mentioned my rich background, and I know your listeners can't see me, but I'm a biracial woman, and my mom is white, my dad is Black. And so I think from early age, right? So from birth, I really was gifted with having these multiple elements of self, right? Like having my white cultural identity, my Black cultural identity, and being able to live with both of those simultaneously operating within myself and never feel torn between them. And so I always just felt like my life has been so enriched by the fact that I'm biracial, that I live in the spectrum between extremes, between these binary, Black and white identities. And so for me, the way that I see diversity is as something that is an enriching experience. But the only reason that I know that I've felt that I've experienced that is because I've had a lot of exposure to different racial and ethnic backgrounds and to different cultures. And, first within my own home and my own family, and then later as a result of my work in journalism and just my friendships. And so I have come to see that diversity, the more my life is richer, the more people that I meet and the more people that I interact with who have different life experiences, different backgrounds, different ways of looking at the world. And so because I operate through that lens, I think I'm able to come to diversity work not from a space of shame or self-blame, but from a place of pragmatism and looking at like, oh my gosh, within this world, we have all of the cultural experiences, the racial identities, the ethnic and identities, gender and sexual orientation and disabilities. And like, there's just such a beautiful, rich spectrum of human experience, and all of it becomes richer and richer when more people are at the table kind of adding their voices to the conversation. And so that's what I'm looking to demystify and answer as a long answer to your question, because I think that people look at diversity and think about it as something that maybe, is scary or different or, oh, well, that's for those people over there. But I think that the richness that comes from diversity, everyone can benefit from. And so my work is aimed at enabling people to see that we all have blind spots and that there are things that we all cannot see that exist outside the scope of our peripheral vision. And if we, embrace different experiences and different ways of looking at things, it makes our lives richer and, I think drives progress forward.